Hey guys, I'm Akshansh and today we are going to do the last unit of the whole course, the 5-day AI agents intensive course, that is prototype to production. So as the name suggests, today we'll be learning how we can directly host and deploy our agents instead of just running them through our ADK web UI. So of course others can also access them. And before moving ahead, make sure you have watched the companion podcast or read the respective white paper. I would suggest doing them simultaneously and taking pauses in the video and then reading white paper. That is how I do it and it really helps me a lot. So yeah, let's begin with our first assignment. And of course, yeah, today's second assignment is optional. It's an optional assignment, so we'll see about it. But yeah, let's move to our first one for now. And I have this edit my copy here because I was already testing it before making this video. We will have something like copy and edit, I guess. Yeah, copy and edit it is. Let's just close our old tab. Perfect. And yeah, by any chance, if your whole Kaggle editor is stuck at that editor is loading, you can anytime come to the files and you can just open this in Google Colab. I'll just show you to you. Okay, it requires you to do some setup. It will take time, but just know you can do that also. It's basically another type of service but provided by Google. Kaggle is also owned by Google at a point, so yeah, it doesn't really matter much, but the servers are different. So yeah, if this doesn't work, you can try that out. Yeah, so let's just start with this codelab. So agent to agent communication with ADK. So if you have been following my videos, in day 2 or 3 I guess I explained to you some analogy about agent to agent and sub agents protocol, right? So if you remember that HR and Akshansh versus professor and assistant professor analogy, that would be really great. But if you need that analogy in this upcoming notebook, I'll explain it. It doesn't really matter much. So you can read all this what we'll be learning today, but I've already introduced you to the topic, so it doesn't really matter much. And today's problem statements are, we actually have 4 problems here. The first one being a single agent can't do everything. So for this, of course, to solve this problem, we'll add more and more agents, and of course if we are adding more agents, the second problem arises. You need agents to collaborate. For that, we'll be establishing communication between them, and of course if we do this, then different teams will different agents. For example, if you need some agent, you'll have to go to some provider called A. For another agent, you'll have to go to a provider called B. So of course you'll need different providers that are referred to as teams here. And after this, of course, if different teams are building it, they must be using different languages or frameworks. For example, there's a framework called LangChain also for building AI agents. Some could use that, or in languages some could use R. Python and R are the most favorable languages when it comes to machine learning projects, and this is also a machine learning project somewhere. So yeah, and here are the solutions, same solutions. You can just read all of this if you want. I just explained to. Then here is a diagram when to use agent to agent. So there are basically 3 examples where they want you to use agent to agent protocols. The first one is cross framework. So I just told you this framework, right? LangChain. So if you want to connect Google Agent Development Kit and LangChain, then you can use a agent to agent protocol. If you want Python and Node.js, I gave the example of Python and R, but yeah, it just works. Python and Node.js, you can use cross language. And for organizations also, if you are trying to contact to some external vendor, this will be the example that we are going to learn in this notebook. Actually, these two are mainly just for just to tell you that they exist. We'll be working on this today, and you can read more here. And yes, exactly this what this notebook demonstrates. So first we'll be building a product catalog agent that would be exposed via agent to agent protocol to our customer support agent. So basically we as customers will call this customer support agent, and it will be hosted at some hosting service. For now they are telling it as localhost 8000, but yeah, we'll be publicly hosting it somewhere. That we'll discuss in the 5B notebook. And then through agent to agent protocol we'll call our product catalog, that is basically a vendor agent that will, for example, if it's a restaurant's agent, it will look to its work would be look into the restaurant's menu and give us the catalog of the, right? For example, if there's some dish called sushi, so it will give us the price of sushi, if it is present on some specific days or not, what is the rating of that particular dish and all that, and it will post it somewhere else, so that only our agent or any agent that our external vendor allows can access that URL. Okay, and why this justifies agent to agent, you can read this. I've already explained it to you. And here's a A2A versus local sub agents, and you can read it. It doesn't really matter much for this codelab. You can pause and read it. It will be great for you, but yeah, I will just skip this for now. And tutorial context, in this tutorial I have explained all this to you. And yeah, I just told you the same graph here somewhere. This. Okay, so basically what they are doing here, first will give some prompt or query to our customer support agent, and that agent will use agent to agent protocol to contact to our product catalog agent. Then it will look into the catalog of the restaurant, for example, and it will give back the product data, and then our CSA will give back the answer to our customer. This will basically be part of our server side, and this whole will be agent to agent protocol side, and this is our web UI. Okay, so you can just branch these three into different names, and you can read all this. This is the tutorial step, I just explained it to you. But yeah, let's just go ahead. And again, if you are not on Kaggle, you are using some local tool, you can install these, but we are on Kaggle right now. And let's just set up our authentication key, import some ADK components, and while they are installing we can go ahead and read some stuff. Section 1 would be about creating product catalog agent to be exposed, but only to be exposed to our client, right? CSA, basically customer support agent. I'll be using these mnemonics. Just let me tell you, for customer support agent I'll be using CSA, for product PCA. Okay, just remember that, CSA and PCA. Okay, And what we are trying to do here is basically we'll create a get product info function first. Here we'll receive input as a product name. It would be basically a string like give me product info about iPhone 16 or iPhone 15 Pro that they have mentioned. These are basically number of catalogs. You can of course increase this list to make it a variety of products and arguments that I just told you, the input, and it would return a string. That string is basically product information. So, and of course people can write the product name in uppercase, like they can write iPhone as just let me add some doc strings. Yeah, so people can be really fishy about what they're defining. They can write iPhone, for example, iPhone, or they can write iPhone, just a variety of things. So if we just do all of this to lowercase, right, or just a second, I maybe ran the code cell mistakenly. Yeah, so iPhone dot lower. So what this do is it would just ignore any typos if I am making some. Yeah, so what this would do, if any text is present here, for example then it would still give iPhone. If it is present somewhat like this, it would still give a lower text. So that is what we'll do here. And if that iPhone keyword is found in our product catalog, for example here, then we just return this. Okay, this is how it's gonna work. And if nothing is found, then sorry, I don't have any information, and it would just available products, and just say it would just output the names only, not the descriptions yet. So let me just run this retry config. I didn't run this. Okay, now I'll run this again, and here we are basically just again. Let's just remove it. It's causing unexpected indent. Okay, it worked. And we are defining our LLM agent container here. That is basically telling it to just go to this container and search for everything, and we'll provide the function as a tool, right? Now we are gonna expose this PCA to our agent via A2A, our CSA agent, through the protocol. And you can read this about to A2A here, and you can visit their official documentations, but I'll explain you to the code. Okay, let me just run it for once. Yeah, so what this does is basically it would create a hosting of the product catalog agent at this port. Okay, and then we'll later use this port in our CSA to access our PCA. Just that. Section 3 is about starting a PCA server. Okay, so yeah, we are going to start the server. So first what we'll do is we'll let save product catalog agent to a file that UVCon can import. We can read more about UVCon on their site, but it's basically a service that is going to help us to set up this A2A thing, right? So you can run it, and basically they are adding this text in the docstring, this code. What they'll do is later on they'll create a file at this path, and with the write permission, W stands for write, R for reading, and as F, basically F provides a F dot write, and then they'll write this code to that file. So basically if we were using our editor, we could have done that by just going to the files and everything, but we are working on a single file here, so we'll have to do a lot of setup, right? And they are basically setting up a server process here that we can use to run this server, but you don't have to understand this code. This is the building block. You'll have to use it how in your code. So yeah, let's move ahead. View auto generated agent card. What they're trying to do here is then the function automatically created an agent card that describes the PCA capabilities. Let's just run it and see. Okay, so this is basically telling about the capability. Okay, so yeah, what it did here, let me just explain it to you. So our what do we call it? This A2A function, basically what it did was it ran a help function over this product catalog agent. It looked over this code, this whole code, it looked over it and these instructions, and it made a understanding of its own that what is this function about and what they're trying to make, and then based on that information it is giving us these capabilities, right? And these are description is basically the instructions that we gave it to it. ID is basically name of our agent. So everything is just a replica of what we defined, but in different words, right? And of course our agent is hosted here, our PCA agent, but you won't be able to access it. I'll explain to you why. So basically we are working on a cloud service, right? Kaggle is working on cloud servers. What localhost does is, if you host it on your system, only your servers can access it. That is, if you host it on your computer, only your computer will be able to access it. And just think of it as Kaggle is now running it on its own computer. That is not ours. It is a different computer. That's why we cannot access this URL. And this is what we want also. We just want our CSA to access it. That we'll be creating now. You can read how it works. I've explained it to you. And this time we'll be using a remote to agent, and it is just basically like LLM agent but a better version of it, and it would allow us to contact with the PCA in just a little line of code. So yeah, and this agent card well-known path is nothing but this file path where we saved our PCA code. Let me just show it to you. This path basically, yeah, this dot well-known agent card .json path. Okay, you'll see it as an output here. Just a second. Yes, as you can see, this path is nothing but basically this path, right? And now we can also create the LLM agent, and let's just wait for it to work. Okay, our LLM agent is loaded. Now we move ahead to section 5, that is testing the A2A communication. So this is basically the how this whole process is going to work, that I explained to you in the graph with that restaurant example. You can read it if you want, but yeah, I have already explained it to you, so no worries. And they are basically, of course, defining what this function is going to do. We are going to define an in-memory session that we have been doing since day one. App name, user ID, and they are doing this something unique basically. So of course, to avoid any conflict, we need a unique session ID. We would also need a unique user ID, but we are just working as a single user for now, so let's not make this complex for us. And then we would create a session with this, and then we would create a runner upon this runner and session. We have studied about this in the past day's assignments. And let's just run this for now. And we are trying to access, can you tell me about iPhone 15 Pro, is it in the stock? And it replies with, you can ignore these warnings, they are basically warnings and information. They are in the red color doesn't mean they are causing us any harm. And as you can see, amazing job by our agent. We got a really great reply, but let's see to its limitations. Just a second. This should work, but by limitations I meant what if we didn't have something in the stock, right? But yeah, it can do comparison also, that is really impressive. And let's look for something that is maybe not in our database, I guess, or is it? Okay, it is in our database. You can just edit this and ask for something that is not. Let's just write XYZ here, and it will give us a response that it is not. And yeah, as you can see, this is our else statement. If something is not there, just list our products, right? And you can read this graph. They are basically explaining a single thing through graphs again and again. So yeah, I'm not going to waste our time on that. And again, they are telling about A2A protocol communication. You can read more about it if you want. And yeah, that's it for this codelab, I guess. Here are some enhancement ideas. I've already tried these. Just a second. Yeah, I've already tried these out on my own, but I would want you to do them by your own self, as I don't support spoon feeding when it comes to programming. And of course, if you want any help related to this assignment or anything or any previous assignments, you can contact me in the Discord server. And yep, that's it. You can just make sure to read these or all these URLs present here. Just give them some time, gulp the knowledge provided there. Otherwise, there's no use of watching this video and reading this whole codelab, right? Practicing stuff, no use to it. And let's just move to our day 5b, right? Okay, this is an optional codelab, and we'll basically deploy our agent to cloud, so we don't have to access it through localhost anymore like we were doing in the past days through the web UI. We couldn't really share the web UI as it used to expose our Gemini API token. So yeah, with further ado, let's just open this codelab, close the old tab, just a second. Okay, and now today we are going to learn how to just a second, what happened, right? Deploy our ADK agent to Vertex AI Agent Engine. If you don't know what this is again a framework which helps us to host our agent to agent protocols, you can say, right? You can read more about it here. And this is basically called scaling our agent, as now we can access it through other services, other computers also. It is not locally hosted anymore. Of course, read more here and everything. And let's just scroll down, and we are going to do setup now. For setup, yes, make sure to complete this. Create a free Google Cloud account. New users get $300. I'm really sorry, $300, not 1,000, for 90 days, no charges during free trial period. I won't be doing this step. Basically, I have a Google Cloud account. It's not that I don't have it, but I don't have my parents' ATM or debit cards right now. That is why I cannot set up. I wasn't able to set up the service. I'll show you how you can do it, but I won't be doing that part. And basically, this enable billing on your account, I won't be doing this part, right? And yes, what they're trying to explain, just in case you guys think you'll have to pay any money, no, up to 10 agents you can deploy without any cost on the free tier. This is just our first agent. You can also delete this agent after you are done with it. So yeah, you can read more about the free tier. Just know that you won't have to pay anything, right? That's the main thing. I mean, that's the main thing I would be worried about if I were at your place. Okay, till it's importing. Just a second. Yeah, never mind. It was just something. Yeah, add cloud credentials in secrets. Okay, what they're trying to ask us to do is, in top menu bar, click on the add-ons, Google Cloud SDK, and link account, and it is link my account. Continue. Continue again. They gave us this authorization code. You will have to click on complete, and boom, done. Yeah, perfect. And just a second, let's just let this have some time and run it. We'll just read other stuff till then. And we are setting up our Google Cloud Project ID. I'll show you how to do this. And more stuff. Yep. Is it done yet? Okay. Yeah. Finally, imports complete. And let's run this, so it can get our auth secret from these add-ons, then Google Cloud SDK. And here they are asking us for our project ID. To get your project ID, you will have to go to GCC, Google Cloud Console. I call it GCC for easiness. And yes, also one thing, just let me open my AI Studio. I'll show you that aistudio.google.com, right? No, I messed up. AI Studio, aistudio.google.com. we come up to here, we go to get API key, and as you will see, this is my API key, right? And I created it in a project called 6. I called it 6 just for the fun. So while here also, you'll have to tap here, just right to the Google Cloud logo. You'll have to go to all and just make sure to select the same project. So when you are deleting one project after this course, it would be easy for you to also delete your Google Cloud instance, as you wouldn't need that anymore. Just copy the project ID from here, go back to your Kaggle, and just paste your project ID here, ctrl plus V, and that's pretty much it. And here they are basically trying, if someone did not change their project ID, then just throw this value error, right? And here they are basically asking us to enable our Google Cloud APIs. You can visit this particular URL. Let's just go here, goes old stuff. click next, click enable, and successfully enabled. We can come back up here, and section 2, create your agent with ADK. So yeah, we are creating our agent now, and for this first we are going to make a directory, that is making a folder. That is how we do it in the bash commands. And just a second, to just view how this looks, you can do list system, that is basically going to list the files, and as you can see it is here, but currently it is an empty folder or directory. Now to this directory we'll add a requirements.txt file. It tells basically Python what packages would you need for this agent, and Python just installs these packages on its own. So yeah, let's just do this. And now if you run this and just add sample underscore agent, you'll see this file here, requirements.txt, and now we are adding an env file, and if you run it again you'll see this file also. Okay, yeah, it does not output the files that start with dot in the start. Yeah, it would not output this as a file. And we can go ahead and create agent code, and we can run this. Basically this is somewhat like a helper function for us, or this would just get a weather based on this weather data and just give it as a tool to our agent, right? And this would, and just a second, this would write file at sample/agent_py. So if you run it again now, you should see a second file. Yep, so basically there are 3 files. .env is not showing up here, and the format is same, I guess. Now we just have this agent.engine left, right? Let's create this file also, and here we are just deploying it. You can read these documentations if you want. And here we are creating our 4th and last file. Of course you won't be able to see this also, so there's no fun in running it. And we are just going to use one instance so that we don't get a high bill on our account or any bill. These are basically servers where our agent will be hosted, and it would be a random choice. And you can read about agents more on this link, and we are going to deploy it. And if you get any error here about the keys $, then you can just do curly brackets around all the $sign instead of $signs, right? And this wouldn't work for me, this step, as I have not set up billing. I'll just get an error. I'll show that to you, but it would work for you if you are on a billing, right? Just a second. Okay, it is working, and yes, here are errors is Google developers console billing error, and just set up billing, but I'm not going to do it. I cannot do it actually. I don't have the resources right now. And then you can retrieve and test your agent once you have deployed it. You can basically use this code, but it wouldn't work for me, so I cannot run and show it to you guys. But yeah, these codes are going to work exactly how they are supposed to work, and there's nothing left to explain here. You can just read all this and understand what they are trying to say. And of course I wanted to show you this step. Please delete your resources because this was just a testing phase, and deleting these would protect you from not ending your monthly tire. Okay, so yeah, just delete this, but I never set it up in the first place. So yeah, congratulations, we are done. And yep, I guess this is how our course ends, right? I can just disconnect my account now, the Google Cloud SGK account. Let me just check if it is disconnected. And yep, that was it. I'll also delete my Google API key now, the Gemini. I'll do it off the video when I turn the video off. So yep, it was great working with you guys, great talking to a lot of people in their Discord server, Kaggle Discord server. I met a lot of friends there, felt like family, and just thank you guys a lot. These videos were just a hobby that some friends told me that you explain a lot better than the others that are respected people of the community, so you should try YouTube. And I did, and somewhat it worked, somewhat it didn't, but yeah, it was really great to be with you guys, to make these tutorials, to help you in the server. So yeah, if you are watching it, thank you a lot. I hope we stay in touch, and yep, that's me signing out. Okay, so I'm really sorry to try to end the video with all that bullshit, but yeah, just to let you guys know, there will be a Capstone Project being revealed today. I guess it's like 3:40 am, 3:50 am while I am recording this video, and it will be released somewhat, I guess, maybe around 4 to 5 p.m. IST. I am talking with reference to Indian Standard Time Zone. So yeah, just stay tuned for the Capstone project. The last video will be about that, what the project is going to be about, because a lot of people have requested that in my DM. So yeah, I'll make a video on that too for them. And also, just as a summary thing, it's going to be you showing Kaggle how you can apply the knowledge that they have taught to you. You'll get prizes for it. I'll just explain everything in the next video. And yep, that's it. See ya guys. This is final end.